My name's Graham Hooper. I'm co-managing director of Dry Coaching Partnership, and I want to talk to you today about the BTEC Level 4 Professional Award in Coaching for Driver Development. Now, before you turn off, this qualification is for all ADIs. Your CPD should be important to you, your continued professional development, and this course does it for you. So let me tell you a little bit about it so that you can make up your own mind what you think is best for you. But the training industry has been changing, and you're all aware that client-centered learning is really, really important. Well, coaching is a huge part of that. In fact, for me, it is the umbrella which everything else sits underneath. And we've seen a growing interest in CPD over the last few years. And more importantly, I suppose what's been driving that is the DVSA themselves have been looking at CPD as being a very, very important part of being a driving instructor, because it is a changing world, and if you stop developing, you're going to get left behind. So it's just getting by really good enough for you as an ADI. Now, it might well be, and it's not for me to say, but if you've got any desire to be great at your business, and that's not saying you're not great now, because look, you want to be better tomorrow than what you are today. And that's just a very simple approach that we should all have to our business life, our social life, our love life. Can I be better at it than what I was yesterday? So, I've got no doubt you want to be successful. So how can we help you go about that? Well, we have been running these courses now for around 8 years. We've got testimonials coming out of our ear offs, and really great testimonials. We've got a team of great trainers across the country which have grown out of the BTEC Level 4, all now doing diverse things with their own CPD, growing their businesses. So we know that this is a stepping stone. So what is your return on investment? Well, let me answer that question. I mean, during the coaching course, regardless of your starting point, you're going to be developing interpersonal skills. So that's communication with other people, but also those intrapersonal skills, the bit where you're talking to yourself, communicating with yourself, and you're going to learn some useful tools to help drive that coaching process. And these skills will help to give you the client-centered learning wherewithal and the confidence to increase your lesson fees and to gain more business. And our aims are to help you adopt a student and client-centered approach. So we want to help you develop your potential for higher earnings, because we want this industry to grow. This is the whole reason that we got involved in this business, is to make this business look more professional and to give ADIs a great opportunity to just springboard themselves, and for driving instructors to be recognised by the general public as being professional people. So our experiences continue to show that better equipped driving instructors are able to buck any low price, lesson price trends, and also help them recognise that they're not a victim to local or even global economy. Now, this is particularly important in this period of time because we've been in boom time as ADIs for some considerable time. Have you got, any plans in place to protect you in those times where it all drops off? Or is it just reduce your lesson price and compete with everybody else? So this gives you, this qualification starts to give you that edge, the edge you need to keep your lesson prices high and to keep growing your business. So you'll be developing a customer experience that stands out from your competition. Now, look, I like all driving instructors, but we have to admit that we're all in business against one another. So, you know, they're not going to cry over spilt milk if you can't pay your bills. So you have got to do something about it yourself, yeah? And don't wait until it's too late. So this will also help you improve your customer referral rate and to bring in new business for your driving school. Now, you might think, well, I've already got a great customer referral rate. You can never in business have too many customers. Now, you may have to develop the ability to say no, but by having customers and having demand for your services helps improve the money that you're going to bring into your business. You know, if you provide a more compelling customer experience and combine that with a proactive recommendation strategy, you'll improve your business flow. And if you're already working to capacity, you'll increase your lesson rate. And to help, and this course will also, on top of that, help you develop methods for dealing with those difficult customers. You know the ones, yeah, very challenging customers. Well, if you increase your skill box, then they become easier. And of course, they can't have just anyone teach them, because the problem is they are difficult. They probably have, learning difficulties. You need to be able to unlock those keys. It can't be known as a one-size-fits-all approach. Being able to unlock those keys for people, everyone, is really, really important. Also, we will help you develop that client-centered learning approach that ensures that responsibility for learning sits with the customer, yeah? And this in itself removes barriers because the focus will be on the customer rather than on the instructor. Am I ready to take my test yet? Well, if they're in that client-centered learning place, they will know. And you won't have those so many battles that you probably have with, am I ready to take my test? I want to book it. I've had 10 hours. I should be ready by now. So coaching definitely helps because it helps the customer raise awareness of themselves and takes responsibility. What this course does for you is it helps you raise your own awareness because you can't coach without this. I suppose something that we all seek is we want to gain a healthy work-life balance. Well, many driving instructors are really working long hours and they're unable to cut down because they probably won't earn enough money. With the skills gained from a qualification like this, you'll be able to successfully charge high lesson rates and therefore should be able to work less, achieving a better work-life balance. The only struggle there you may have is the ability to say, no, I can't do this yet. And to keep forcing that price up because there is a ceiling. You want to find where that ceiling is. You deserve it. I suppose also, for me, and I would imagine for yourselves, is that you want to contribute to improving road safety. And I suppose, we've been introduced to the goals for driver education. And if you're not coaching, it's really, really hard to develop self-evaluation tools in young drivers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Please ask, yeah? So you can contact me. You can ring the number behind me and you can find out more information. You can email us and find out more information. So this is not a sales pitch. This is for us to help you find out more about the BTEC Level 4. And as it says behind me, be amazing. Absolutely. I mean, because still 1 in 5 newly qualified drivers crash. So you might say, well, we've embraced coaching. Have we really? We've got 40,000 driving instructors. I think we've got going towards 1,000 have been through our qualification. That's not to say the other 39,000 haven't taken any coaching qualifications or haven't taken any CPD, but I would guesstimate a huge number haven't. So we're still in instructor land. in my opinion, rather than in that coaching and client-centered learning land, which will make that difference to these new, young, inexperienced drivers. It's really important. So, you know, if this is all important for you, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Some of you might know Penny Hughes. She's a really highly qualified driving instructor down in Devon and that area in the southwest. And she's done our course. And I know she offers coaching and client-centered learning courses to people down in that area. And this is what she said. She said, I thought about this course for some time before committing to the financial outlay. I've been a fan of coaching for some time, but being largely self-taught, which I think a lot of us are, she wanted to validate her skills. This course, she says, not only met her goals, it challenged and excited her perceptions of training. The trainers, she's talking about maybe myself and Sue at the time, are sincere, knowledgeable, and it was definitely enjoyable and value for money. Any instructor who cares about their students and road safety should do this. That's from Penny Hughes. Now, you may not know, but you can look her up on Facebook if you're on Facebook. So let me tell you a little bit about the course modules and the structure. There's 4 course modules and there's 5 days training. It's a bit like being on Strictly. 5, yeah? 5 days training, 4, oops, nearly got it wrong. 4 course modules. Okay, the course modules. Module 1 is all about communication skills. So what happens, you come on a day's training, all your classroom work is all around you being able to fulfill the assignments that we will give you to do, because it's all about you and it's all about the home study you do. In fact, it's all about putting what you learn on the course into practice. It's not an academic course, it's a practitioner's course. And you need to write up your findings about what's happened on the course. Now, just for example, if you came on a course in December, you come and do module 1 day. You then come back in March and you would do the second module, which is feedback. And it's all about feedback. And if you know anything about the standards check, you'll know that feedback crops up probably most out of everything else on the form. So developing your feedback skills is essential. So we spend the same thing. We spend a day in the classroom doing exercises, discussing and also lecturing some parts as well, playing games, all with the idea of developing you as a driving instructor to use feedback skills on your lessons in a client-centered way. You get your assignment, you come back 3 months later. So that would be in June. And in June, we do something called, coaching conversations. I've just done a module 3 actually down in Taunton, so I should remember that. So we do coaching conversations and we look at putting the skills that we've learned in module 1 and module 2 into practice so that you can take that away and put it into practice in your own training scenarios. So and the same thing happens, do some more assignments, and you come back and then we look at, and this, don't be put off by this. We look at higher order cognitive skills, and actually that's just critical thinking skills. And we develop your critical thinking skills in the classroom, and you go away and do that. But the day before, we do an in-car coaching session, okay? Which, for any of you who have done any in-car work, it's nothing like the old PST role play. In fact, you know, it doesn't even, it's not even on the same page, the same book, or even the same planet. It's a day that you spend in the car with a really high skilled trainer, and you get to benchmark yourself. Where have you come on this journey? Yeah, that you've been learning. So this is now, you started in June and you're now finishing in September. We believe learning takes time, and we believe that you need to invest that time into yourselves so that you become better at what you do. Okay, now the locations, I wrote the locations up on here because just in case I didn't remember. So we've got Chester coming up, Newport Pagnell, which is near Milton Keynes, Nottingham and Derby, that's on the M1 and it's on the Nottingham-Derby borders, and Glasgow up at Lark Hall. So we've got some locations all over the country for you to come and join us. Now then, the nitty-gritty, the costs. Let me tell you this, okay? The costs are currently £25 a week. The course costs £1,300, okay? But we are putting the price up in the first week of January. Anyone who books any of these courses, whether they're this year or next year, prior to that first week in January, gets it at the current price. Fantastic. But from next year, after the first week in January, the price is going up to £30 a week. Okay, now we do our best to make this affordable for you because, you know, this is no more than what a lesson, 1 hour's lesson will cost you. And you can cover the whole cost of this course if you just go away and put your lesson price up by £1 an hour now. Everything will be covered. It gives you a day off as well, you know, a day off where you meet and network with other like-minded ADIs. So if you want to know more, you can ring us on 0800 058 8009. You can email us at info@tri-coachingpartnership.co.uk. And if you want to book the course, go to www.tri-coachingpartnership.co.uk. You'll find a link, click on the link, get your seat now at today's prices. So that's your price at 2018, going up in 2019. So I hope that's given you a little bit of information about the BSEC Level 4 Professional Awarding Coaching for Driver Development. And I look forward maybe to meeting you sometime in the future. Okay, enjoy the rest of your training. Thank you. Bye-bye.